registered against them, along with the main accused, who is also a minor at that point of time. So, all I'm saying is, my children have been targeted right after this. We've been taunted, especially online. Isha Foundation has a wing called Digital Viras. Every time in his satsangs, he says like, these are anti-Hindus, they are anti-nationals, and they are like dogs barking. He says it's the nature of the dogs to bark. So I would like to take this platform to tell Mr. Jaggi Vasudev that please don't underestimate the dogs. Dogs simply don't bark. And if you have had a pet, you would have realized by now that they're either trying to warn you that something is around, be careful, or they're trying to protect you. They are not as bad as you have said. And please do not equate victims to dogs. In one of his satsang, he explained to his meditators that, there are some political parties which are asking us to do this. We are not affiliated to any political party. None of the politicians have ever reached us. And I wonder that, despite of so many things happening, there is no outrage from the Human Rights Commission. There is no outrage from Women's Rights Commission. There is no witness protection to us. There is no any sort of support either from the state or the central government. And on the day of my summons, the inspector there, I do not want to reveal his name because he could be targeted too. So he simply said that, you could look at this picture who is behind. So there are very, very big people who support him. Probably we are not that big enough to, even raise our voice. But if this gets unchecked, this is a democratic country and this is not a plutocracy, I believe. So I have taken this courage from the beginning that, our children should just get justice, number one. Number two, no child should fall into this trap. There are many, many young children who, in the name of, volunteering at this place, they get trapped into that ashram and they never come back. There are so many horrible stories that you hear, and most of the parents do call us at times like, is there any way to bring this child back? We have taken loans to, give them good education, but it never, they never come back. So, yeah, we are here to seek
can we
justice.
just, I think now the question answers any questions.
The very, purpose of the foundation. So at that point of time in 2019, I thought it was an isolated case. Maybe they are not any of that kind. Probably this only happened to my child. But when I went to volunteer at ashram, I definitely saw that there are more and more cases of sexual abuse on women, on children, and and the boys as well. The boys were not exempted either. So after all my own first witnessing to these things, I still have given the benefit of doubt to Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev that he is not informed of all these things. Until 2024 April, I have been under the impression that Jaggi Vasudev does not know all these things. So there were many incidents of these abuses in the school, which I have written mails in the form of mails to Sadhguru's office, and none of them were answered. 2024, I have written one final email saying that if you are not going to answer these questions, I seek his appointment so that I can tell first-hand account of what's going on in the school, how the teachers are threatened, how children are threatened, and how I was threatened on many occasions by the principal and the director of that school. So I have written him emails. None of the emails were written back. And on the last email, I have definitely told him that if you are not going to answer my questions in the ashram, I'm going to ask these questions from the public platform. Not because of what I have lost. My son's innocence is lost. My husband's innocence is lost. 13 years of our life went into this organization in vain. Not just because of that, but also the fact that Isha Foundation houses about 700 young children. 700 young children in different forms. One is a Gurukul school and the other is a ICSE school. So children might not know at that particular age what is going on there, or they might be blindly thinking that Sadhguru is a god. But as adults, we can definitely see the difference that not everything is as rosy as they show or as truthful as they portray it to be. So in this quest, my emails were not answered, and when I said that I'm going to ask these questions from the public platform, I was asked to come and sit down and talk. And I went back to the ashram in June after the break, and someone came from the office. They sat me down in the office and said, "This is not the way to ask questions. You cannot ask those questions. You have put the entire ashram at the gunpoint." That's what Jaki Vasudev has told them. And also, he said that, I built this ashram in 40 years and you're trying to shake the foundations of the ashram. See, I do not have any such intentions of breaking his ashram or putting him in whatever spot he is. But my answers should be my questions should be answered, because my son's life was at stake, and so are many other children's lives. And the kind of system that they grow up is very closed. They are not allowed to talk to many people, and the very basic things that he talks about of inclusiveness and emotional bravery, that the very things that he talks about is not what happens there. So in this context, when they, I came out of the ashram, and and just after that, a child lost his life. A 16-year-old child got electrocuted. These children, the 12th grade children, they were taken out on the yoga day for volunteering, and during this process, the parental permission was not taken. And on the top of it, they took the children for a lunch break into a very dilapidated place. The child just touched the tap to wash his hands, and he got electrocuted and died at the spot. And they called it fate. Anything can happen anywhere. Yes, we agree. But the man did not. I've also heard of some girls being raped by the Swamis themselves. So it's not new to Isha Foundation at all, and groping is a very normal thing. And most of my friends or their own friends, they have told me on many occasions that ashram is not a place to be.
Can you tell us who the person was?
So we cannot tell the person faith and in anonymity.
Who is saying the police saying?
Sorry?
Did you say any FIR?
Who is having?
Did you register any FIR from that?
Sir, in my own son's case, an FIR is filed. It's a POXO case.
Any other?
Copy of it. They will never give us a copy of it, but yes, there is evidence to show that an FIR is registered. They have sent me a mail, and I also cannot give a copy of the FIR because it's a POXO case.
आप देख रहे हैं लाइव न्यूज 99 राष्ट्र सबसे पहले।